talking about the alarming spike in the number of teen girls that are being abused in relationships. But do all teens know how to spot the signs that a relationship is abusive? Well, I called my friends over at One Life to Live, Kristen Alderson and Brandon Buddy. They play Star and Cole, and they helped me put together some scenarios to help teens identify the signs of abuse. Because I feel like we can talk about it over and over again, like this, a punch, a slap, or this or that. What is truly abuse? And I came up with this idea to have them act it out. So check out the first one.
Why didn't you answer your cell phone?
I told you I didn't hear it. I was having dinner with my mom.
Do you know how worried I was about you?
Whatever. You never answer your phone.
Don't ever talk to me like that again.
I'm
Is that understood?
I'm...
Yeah, I know what you are.
Okay, so let's go to the audience. Do you guys think that was abusive? You guys, stand on up. What do you have to say? Do you think that was abusive?
No, it was only an argument. I don't think it's a big deal to grab each other.
You don't think it's a big deal? What about you?
Well, I think it could have led to abuse, but not at this time, so I'm going to go with no.
You're going to say no. Okay, Robbie?
I think it's a dangerous sign, and it's the beginnings of something that's not so good.
Yeah, and also that energy that he had, too, and that pull like that. Yeah, I find that
like
that
he was acting more like a father.
A crazy
like
daddy.
an abusive father.
Yeah. Why do people look at something like a grab or a push or something like that and think that that's not abuse? Why do they do that?
Well, I think many people think of abuse in terms of punching and hitting and ignore some of the more psychological signs because it's less obvious. But really, when there is physical abuse, there's usually psychological abuse going on as well, but it's more subtle.
More subtle.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a look at this next situation. Everybody pay attention, and you say, is this abuse or not abuse? Check it out.
Look at me when I talk to you.
No.
When I tell you to do something, you better do it.
No! Stop! Let go of me! Why are you acting like this?
I act like this because you make me.
I don't make you do anything!
Now, look what you made me do. Oh, baby. I'm sorry, okay? You just bring out the worst in me, okay?
Wow, that reminds me of what we were just talking about earlier. Look what you made me do. You bring out the worst in me. Who wants to talk about this one? Okay, stand on up. Think that was abuse or not abuse?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He hit her. That was definitely abuse.
That was definitely abuse. Okay, anybody else want to talk about it? No? Stand on up. Want to see what you guys think. I like that the young ladies are having something to say about this.
Yeah, that was abuse.
That was abuse.
He smacked her in the face.
What about before the smack?
He was just being really, like, argumentative and just, like, being rude, and that's not good for a relationship.
I noticed nobody mentioned the hair pull. The hair pull, to me, was like the sign. I wonder if you guys are thinking that's kind of normal, the hair pull? Robbie, to me, it was abuse way before the slap.
Yes, the blaming, not taking any responsibility for their part in what's going on, and then the quick apology afterwards to seduce the woman back in is really classic signs of abuse.
Okay. And does abuse usually start this way with the aggressiveness and then the hair pull and then the slap and then it's like little things?
No, that's the scary thing. Sometimes, in fact, quite often, these abusive relationships start off and they look very romantic. So the man is very attentive because he's putting his woman up on a pedestal. And when she falls from grace, which inevitably will happen, that's when the violence and abuse takes place.
Does the abuser, does he know that he is an abuser and I'm going to get her in my web? Or does he not know that he's an abuser and it just kind of surprises him too?
Yeah, I think it probably varies from case to case, but they see themselves as victims and struggling. So when you call an abuser abusive, they're probably thinking, I'm not an abuser. There are certain situations that happen. So no, they see themselves as victims of a woman who's not behaving, not treating them well, not helping them to feel confident. So
that's what it is.
That's the problem.
Okay, here's the final scenario with our guys from One Life to Live.
Are you ever going to lose weight?
I'm trying.
Okay. I'm sure you are, but you're obviously too stupid to follow a simple diet. I mean, that ain't think 17-year-olds got cellulite.
Wait, why would you say something like that to me?
I know getting into this relationship that you're stupid, but to let yourself go like this? I mean, aren't you embarrassed?
I'm sorry.
Whoa. Okay. Who has something for this? I saw you raise your hand. Stand on up. You think that was abuse or not abuse?
Well, it wasn't very nice, but I definitely wouldn't call it physical abuse. There was no, like, interaction between them.
Okay, not physical abuse. Did you see any kind of abuse?
Yeah, I would definitely say.
What would you call that?
More like verbal abuse.
Okay, anybody else? Yeah, stand on up.
Hi. I would agree with her. They were just arguing, and people argue all the time, so I don't know if you'd necessarily call that abuse.
So, so no, that's just arguing.
Well, definitely not physical abuse.
Okay. All right, well, there are different types of abuse. What is there, Robbie? There's physical, there's emotional, there's verbal.
Right, it's the verbal abuse really is designed to cut somebody's self-esteem down so they feel that they can't do any better. You know, that in this relationship, this is the best they're going to get. And so that's what they do. Really, it's the boyfriend gets the girlfriend to feel as badly about herself as he really feels about himself.
Yeah. I dated a guy once years ago, and he told me that he had this thing where he likes to break a woman down. And then that makes him feel more in control. I can't believe he was actually telling me this.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, and you almost got me, because I was wondering why I was feeling crazy.
Be impressed.
Yeah.
Really? Well, whoa, come over, Mama.
Break me down.
Yeah.
No, but like, he was starting to work me. I was just a frustration for him because he just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
But he was chipping away.
Well, and it's not hard for people to chip away at one's psyche, because basically who we put in our lives is how we begin to see ourselves. Nobody is that psychologically strong that you can put tons of abusive people in your life and say, I feel great about myself. We don't operate that way as human beings.
Yeah, and a lot of the times women say, oh my God, if I ever got hit, I would be gone so fast. I would just be so gone. And until you're in that situation when you're verbally or emotionally or physically abused, it's easier to say
it can happen to anyone. Usually, you know, for people either who were in abusive situations, they saw it growing up, they're naive, and also our ideas about love are really flawed.
And also self-esteem, too. The guy that got me kind of a little bit feeling bad and emotional abuse, I was feeling like crap. Yeah, and he knew, he smelled it. Yeah. I say they can smell it.
And they probably, they want people who can feel bad, because then they'll stay connected to them, and really they feel worthless when they're not connected to somebody they could get to feel bad.
We'll be right back.